So with me here is a base cover that I would like to replace with this old broken one. This of the kind. So when you look closely, this one is all broken through. So I would like to replace it with this new cover, which is well intact, and see to it that we have a clear running laptop without any faults. So let's do that right away. Let's start by dismantling, or rather disassembling this laptop and have it fixed with the new cover and the hinges fixed properly. So first things first, we need to first remove these screws. There are 3, but I'm seeing one is missing here, so let me just remove the 3. We shall see how we can replace. I'm removing the 1, 2, 3 in order for me to get off the cover, which is this cover. Put it aside. Once that is done, we remember, first things first, we need to first disconnect or rather shut down the laptop. After shutting it down, we then disconnect the power line, or rather the battery. So let me start by unscrewing this battery, and the battery has 2 screws. I've removed this one. Let me remove this as well. Okay, so once we're done, we disconnect the battery, and this is our battery. Let's put it aside. Now for this, we need to then remove the RAM chip. Put it aside. Disconnect the CMOS battery, which is here. This. I hope you're seeing this very well. Disconnect that CMOS battery connector. Once we are done, we then disconnect the hard drive, which is this connector here. Disconnect it here, and then unscrew it. It has one screw there that we need to unscrew. This one here. We unscrew that. So once that is done, we can then remove our hard drive, which is this. Put it aside. Once that is done, we then also disconnect the wireless card, which is here. Disconnect the wireless card off the board. It has 2 connecting wires, and then it has one screw, which we unscrew using our Phillips screwdriver. This is the wireless card. Put it aside as well. So once we are done, we then remove, or rather unscrew, these 3 screws here. Inner screws, hope you are able to see them. This 1, 2, and 3 here. On my side. And there is also this one here, if you can see it. It's here. So once we are done with that, we go to these two screws that hold the keyboard. So in case you want to replace the keyboard, I have a link of how to replace keyboard for this Lenovo E470 in the description link, so you will check it out. So let me remove these screws. Oops, this one is insisting to come out. Doesn't want to come out. Then we have this one also. This. Okay, we have this one also here. Then once we are done with the inner screws, check thoroughly that you've not left any screw still intact. So on confirmation, we then go to the outside screws. We have this one, but order doesn't really matter. Order doesn't matter. You can begin from either outside or the inside, but me, I always start from the inside so that I don't forget any inside screw. It's easier for me not to forget if I start from the inside. But order does not matter. So let's remove this one also. Change it this side also. Have this removed. This also. Screw removed. Once that is done, we confirm that we don't have any screw left. Then once we are done, we flip open the laptop. Flip it open wide. Remember, its hinges are broken. Then remove the keyboard. Remove it by pushing it the other side. Once that is done, open it, pull it out gently, and then flip it over, just like that. Once you're done flipping it over, there are these two locks, one and then the one below it. You can just unlock and remove the first connector, then unlock the second one, and then remove the connector, the second connector, and then this is our keyboard. So in case you want to replace the keyboard, that can be done. So now that we have access to this panel, we can then first disconnect the touchpad, which is here. Disconnect it off the board, just like that. Then we disconnect the screen here off the board. It has a handle which you can just gently pull out, just like that. So once that is done, we then remove the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that are inside also here. And starting right away, let me start with this one here. Then go to this second one. Go to the third one, fourth. These are M2 by 4.5 screws. Go to the fifth one, and then the sixth one. Should keep the screws, any screw. So once that is done, we can open it quite a bit, and then get our pressure tool. See how we can open it from the behind using our pressure tool. Disconnect the locks. open them, open them gently all around. You have to do that gently so that you don't affect anything on the board. So now that we have this interior, this one I think is still in good shape. This one looks to be still in good shape. So now that we have this, we can then first remove these screws that are on, that are fixing the motherboard onto the frame. So we need to remove this. 1, 2, holding the corners. 3, 4, 4. Then we disconnect. These are the connectors that connect the battery. Sorry, the speakers, inbuilt speakers. So now you check thoroughly, ensuring that you have nothing left. Then after that, we can then gently remove the motherboard. You have to do it gently because it has these USB ports are always protruding through the holes, or rather the ports. So you have to do it gently in order not to cause any damage. So this is our motherboard. Let's keep it here safe. Now we need to get, oops, see the hinges are even broken. The hinges that the ports that hold the screws for the hinges are all broken. So we need to just open this other one of the side. Start by removing these screws, the 2 screws. Not forgetting these downer cables that connect to the wireless card. You have to first remove them gently into their pathway and then get them out. So you can see this is our keyboard bezel. Sorry, this is our screen bezel with its screen. The screen is still intact, so we don't need to replace it. We just need to replace this hinge. So you see this one, the screw is still intact. You need to first remove it. And there we go. So we get rid of this old base cover and we replace it with the new base cover. Where is our new base cover? This is our new base cover. So right away we start by fixing these hinges to see that they are fitted properly. So first things first, we need to first trace the route for these wireless cables, or rather connectors, and the path is down here. We need to first put them back to their path routes. Once that is done, we can then get our ensure that it's fitted properly. That is done. We can then get our then get our 2 screws here. Fix them back. Fix them back here. Which is number 1. And the second one also goes here. There's supposed to be 3 actually. Goes here. The second one goes here. Then we need to get the third one also fixed firmly. Third one goes here. Since this is not the size of the tops, you have to be careful so that you don't spoil nothing. So once we are done with that, we go to this other side also. We fix the 2 screws into their ports. Fix it there. Oops, I think this one will be able to open and close very firmly. So once that is done, we then get our motherboard. We can then align back the motherboard, starting with this other point that has protruding ports. Then ensure that this VGA cable also comes through to the top so that you can be able to connect it here. Then gently we shall squeeze this back. Downwards, just like that. So once that is done, we can then get our screws that hold the motherboard onto the frame, or rather the cover. This cover also put back. Once that is done, we then connect the speakers. Connect the speakers back onto the motherboard. Connect the speakers back onto the motherboard. We can then connect the VGA. Once that is done, we then get our keyboard base. Fix it back. Fix it back firmly. Fix it back firmly. Once that is done, we then get our screws, our M2 by 4.5 screws. Which ones are they here? The ones here. Instead of this, then we go to this second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one here, and then the sixth one goes here. If you're a bit confused on where to put those screws, there are always small little arrows that show you where you're supposed to fix. So let's connect back our touchpad onto the board, which is this one here, this one here. Then we get our keyboard. Connect our connector, keyboard connector, the first one, then the second one also. Put back gently. Fix this back. Then ensure that it fits with the locks very well. Once that is done, you can then close and shift to this other side. So here is where the magic is. We should start by putting back the screws that hold the keyboard, and they're also M2 by L4.5. It is one. Put the second one also. Two. Now we've ensured that the keyboard is back, so let's trace this path for the cables that connect the wireless card. Ensure that the path is, the cables are aligned very well into the path. Then we get the wireless card, fix it back gently. Get its screw. There. And then we get the cables fitted back firmly. Fix the second one, the first one, and then the second one back. Just like that, just like that. Okay, once that is done, we then look for our CMOS battery. Where did we put the CMOS battery? Get the CMOS battery here. It's still in the old cover. There's some sticky glue on it, so we just fix it here and then connect it into its connector, which is this one here. Fix it back just like that. Then we get our RAM stick, which is here. Fix it back gently. Always ensure that you first clean it. Once that is done, we need to first fix these screws back into their position so that we complete the sealing. So start with one, second one, not forgetting the through here. One, two, and three. Here, and also we have this one that goes here. Not forgetting one that goes here. Once that is done, we then get our hard drive fitted back here, and we get its screw and connect it onto its get the battery, connect it, and then connect the two screws. So we put these screws for the battery also back. This back. Put the screws back. Then we get our cover. Then we get this our cover, ensuring that all the inner screws are fitted in well and firmly. We get our cover. Put it back. Then we get these other screws the external screws. Start with the ones on the cover. You always have to be careful so that you don't leave any screws out. You have to be conscious on that. Third one. So once that is done, we can then now flip open our laptop. As you can see, the hinges have been fixed and it can close and open very well without any problems. So let's power it on and see whether we have no problem. Not forgetting to first clean it. And there you go. It will give us our display, which is okay. Now it has given us that beeping sound because we have changed the CMOS battery. So we need to run those settings and we shall be all good to go. And that's it for this video, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the Opolotiverse Solutions. In case this video has helped you out, kindly subscribe and share. Subscribe and share. This is it from me and you. See you in the next video. Cheers.